Welcome to the channel, A31Avo. Today live in Santa Cruz, California for the summer size control pruning of, to the left, the Flavor Delight APRIUM, and to the right it's going to be the Emerald Drop PLUOT. Sorry about that. There you go, Emerald Drop PLUOT. To the right, okay, an APRIUM and a PLUOT, 2-in-1 hole, maybe originally about like 16 or 18 inches apart, but it appears they're for sure growing closer to each other. Viewers have mentioned that, or recommended that I should have done a APRIUM and an APRIUM for a balanced look, because again I'm shaping this tree as one, keeping them clear from the middle, but the rest of the limbs I want them dancing around each other. Okay, but yes, for a more uniform look I would have doubled up on the APRIUMs. It would have been Flavor Delight APRIUM, which is somewhat of a sure thing, a guarantee. You're bound to get something. It's pretty consistent, it's pretty dependable. But yes, some have claimed that it's pretty matte fruit, and yeah, but at least it's a guarantee, at least it's something. So I would be Flavor Delight APRIUM, and then you could go Cotton Candy, Leocott, and I forget what others. And then the Emerald Drop could have been paired again for a more uniform foliage pattern, so it looks like one tree. It would have been the Flavor Grenade, So say like for us home growers, a more uniform look would definitely look better in the front yard, you know, a symmetrical look. All right, this is in the backyard, so I'm not too worried about the aesthetics, but we shape to size control and for production to give us the best shape that will result in the best possible fruit. So here we go, we're gonna clean this up. ARS, the reason why I go with ARS, they're precision. You know, if you've been watching me, you know I graph, so ARS is gonna give you precision cuts, okay? Made in Japan. And this one right here, you just have to be careful. Look, check it out. It has a pinch point, so in the heat of the action you'll get pinched right there. But the reason why I went with the old school pruners is because there's very little moving parts. There's just a spring that in theory I could replace, and then I've already lost the grip, but I don't expect the equipment to keep up with me because I stay in the orchard. I use them a lot. All right, ARS. These are the other ones too. I've had the 9s. I'm sorry, the 8s. This is the 9. I've had the 8. The 8 is 23 millimeter, 23 or 22 millimeter. But these are the 9s. And again, I went back to old school because this one will not jam up. I've had the 8s jam up. Again, after a brutal season of grafting. So again, maybe it's not the equipment, maybe it's me, but this one. Okay, just a quick product recommendation, okay? I'm not affiliated with any of this, but that's just what I use. All right, ARS for precision grafting cuts. Disinfect. Let me know in the chat. Let me know what you use. I get a lot of customer input, so I kind of think I know what's up. But you guys let me know. Okay. Again, Flavor Delight APRIUM, Emerald Drop PLUOT. I've been kind of studying it a little bit. The more you can study it, the better. But this is a summer size control pruning, so feel free to come back as much as 50. They say you can do 60, but I do 50. Okay, this one, just because it's the growth is closer to the neighboring tree, I want to clean it up. And again, sometimes I let things fork out by 2 or by 3, and then I'll make decisions down the line. But you don't want to be keeping too many forks. So again, 1, 2, and there's a third one over there. So, but I'm gonna give the one that's, again, to the left towards the neighboring tree. So I'm gonna thin it in that direction. I don't want it growing into the neighboring tree. It's gonna be at the collar, okay? At the collar. This is a thinning cut. It'll eliminate the branch. There. You see? This came out. Again, clearing the path. I'm gonna have to take some off of the APRIUM as well. But for now, we're shape pruning. Outward. Outward. The emerald drop, okay? Again, and I can come back on every limb as much as 50%. Summer size control pruning. All right, let's see where I'm at. Let's go here. Again, it's forked out, 1, 2, and then it's overlapping. But I don't worry too much about overlapping as long as there's some spacing in between. This one I'm gonna shape up a little bit, and this one's gonna be underlapping, but it's okay. Like, I want some production out of the lower limbs for some years. Later, if I have to clean them up, I'll take them off, but I think I want some production, like nice, low, and accessible. Okay, so let's just focus on the top. Again, right here, thinning cut, heading towards a neighboring tree. And right here, I want an outward facing bud. Let me see. We'll leave it here. We'll leave it here. Again, and I'll revise it. I'll revise it later. We'll see what we're doing. Let's go. And then this one, inward growth. Inward growth. Again, I want to open center. Outwards. Right here, outward facing bud. Or no, I'm gonna thin it. I'm gonna thin it just on vertical growth. And then the underlapping branches, the ones that are right here are lower, also needs to come back. This one to the left, pointing towards the tree, thinning cut. It's gotta go. This, like on vertical, inward, it's supposed to favor outward, so yeah, and actually came back way lower. Eliminating the fork. But now it's pointing this way. This right here, little one, vegetative shoot, it's got to come back. Try to pinch everything at least once. Everything in the limb at least once. If you don't, it'll run away with it. So, but again, I wouldn't want it to focus all the growth here. But being that it's not injured, it could run away with it. So that's why I touch everything at least once somewhere. Again, from anywhere as light as 25 to 50, but you control. And just got rid of some bad leaves, right? This is the plum leaf curl. It's caused by aphids. And in the early spring, I did the wrong thing. I took off predatory bugs. There was these hard shell little like beetles looking things with some redheads. They were actually doing their job, and I was like flicking them away. But this one, it's going to be a horticultural spray. Again, treating for the plum leaf curl. It's going to be the horticultural spray in dormancy, and then also maybe even some neem oil in spring. If I wanted to focus and wanted to really set, I'm going to help it out. This one heading towards the neighboring branch. I'm favoring the thicker, so giving this space to the thicker branch. Inward vertical right there, so that has to come off. And you want to this one inward vertical, I'm going to come outward shaping on this thicker branch, last year's growth. Negative, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take it off. Again, I don't want to leave too much. I feel like I end up leaving too much, and again, it trapped a lot of moisture, and that's why the bugs were able to grow. But this year, I'm going to clean it up. Again, now for real, leaving the floor. So it's going to look like I hacked it, but we'll see. Again, this would be intersecting branches eventually. So let's not give this any thought. Okay, Emerald Drop on Myro Plum rootstock, and I want to say the Flavor Delight APRIUM is on the Citation. This right here, it's a pretty strong branch. Either you keep a, where am I at? Oh, right here. Either you keep a tight tree closer to the neighboring one, or you go with the outward swooping. But this one's pretty thick. And right here, there's some overlapping. Some overlapping that needs to be addressed, and decisions need to be made. Let's see. All right. All right, here we go. I see it. Again, this one on intersecting towards neighboring branches. Then. And then this one, you normally want to go outward swooping, but again, there is a neighboring tree, so I want to keep closer. And it is overlapping the under one, so I'm going to do this. Again, there's still some overlapping right here, but at least you know this one is growing somewhat vertical. And this one with some crop, it'll go down. And outward facing to the right, pulling in this direction. Let's get closer. This right here, upright. Upright vertical, again inward and upright vertical. So now you see my limb swoop. You could literally see it right there. From a cut last year to this one. So I got my limb swooping outwards, and then look at this year's growth, but it was bad. It was bad, so for sure look just on inward, because at first you won't know what decisions to make. So these on inward, these ones are facing inward and neighboring towards the neighboring. Okay, now this third little limb right here is wimpy. I don't want to favor that, and it's inward. And now I'm down to two. Now I'm down to two forks right here, or forked out. So now I'm gonna leave those parallel to each other, out of each other's way. And it's pretty tricky because there's nothing, but there's one right there. We'll see what it does. Again, we can clean it later. Inward. There'll be some smaller inward ones sometimes I leave, only as protection. You don't want to leave the limb too bare, okay? It'll burn. So keep that in mind. But they're not competing. They're not competing, so that's why I'll leave them. Yeah, and this on neighboring branches, actually it's coming off. And intersecting with the neighboring branch and overlapping, really. Again, I don't want it too busy in there. It'll trap moisture, and I think those were the perfect conditions for the bugs to grow. Again, it looks like I'm taking off a lot, but again, I want airflow. I'm increasing airflow. This limb right here, again, that's probably where it was the busiest with the plum leaf curl. So see, that tells me that airflow was poor in that direction, and moisture, bugs. So upright, inward growth, intersecting, overlapping, everything's wrong with this limb. Everything's wrong with this limb, so it's got to go. It's pretty thick. I entertained it for too long, but I'm taking it off. I want my air to be able to flow and escape. All right. Everything to the left. All right, keeping the distance clear. This intersecting, you see, intersecting. So just go little by little. Andrew said hi, nice plants, appreciate it. Fausto Bautista, Cubo, I apologize. There was a troll in the chat a little bit, but then they went away, but I want to acknowledge it. So, all right, so yeah, let me keep going. But yeah, I'm just kind of was in my backyard, my patio. I'm cleaning it up. We're barbecuing today. No, not barbecue. Burgers on the grill. So, but this was bugging me for a minute. It's my day off, but it's really never my day off. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're working right here, cleaning up my backyard. I like to take the time off to be able to work on my trees. And then Jenny Avocados. We'll be in touch. All right, should have studied this tree a little bit longer, but I hadn't had the time to like look at it. So, but See, again, when you don't know, go less. When you don't know, go less. Again, this on inward, but again, it might be coming off completely once I see it. And then this on inward. So yeah, when you don't know what to do, start with the basics. And then dead, distorted, or dying growth. Oh, I'm sorry. The 3 Ds, I'm forgetting them right now. Dead, dying, and distorted, maybe. Yeah. Again, inward, intersecting. And I kind of want to continue to push in that direction. So I'm looking for something in that direction. Again, this could come off, but this is stronger than the lead. The lead is actually a little bit of a wimpy branch. Yeah, no, I'm not liking it. So it's coming out. And this is coming off too. Yeah, I don't want it entertaining. I don't even know why I entertained it. It was intersecting. But again, it's because I don't want to take off too much, but sometimes you have to take off too much, and it's okay. It's summer size control pruning. You'd be surprised. It's coming back. Clean them up. Clean up your cuts at the collar, okay? All right, just a second. Now I'm down to like the 4th and last limb. Fourth and last limb right here. A lot of it is coming down. But let's start with this right here. It's low, it's out of the way, it's good. Outward facing bud, again low, and came back, brought it back. Again, the neighboring tree. There's a neighboring tree, so yeah, bring them back, keep them compact. And then this right here, intersecting. And again, to increase my airflow. This right here. Again, I always like to keep at least a little bit more than forked, or at least forked once. So again, and then there's dead stuff on there. So let's just do that. All right. This one intersecting. Again, start with less. The final form will reveal itself. But yeah, first again, I need to see the bare bones. Okay, these on intersecting. All right, so still very busy up here. And yeah, this one for being the most inward. And again, intersecting, heading in an intersecting direction. It's pretty thick, but it's coming off. Again, if it's pretty thin, leave it a little bit more, so it competes with the thicker. And less is more. Came off too. And check out how I resolved that. That right there, lower and outward, and this one's higher, but this way. All right, now my last one, so I'm cleaned up. And all along, try to keep them pretty even. And this one, intersecting. And then this one, I don't like the angle. I look at the angle right there and I feel it'll break off. There. I think, yeah. And then revise. So yeah, like I'm not going with that. So go back to the hardier stuff. And revise right here. Inward vertical. Down low. Thinning cut. Right here. Intersecting. Again, you want to leave a little something for some protection. We're still midsummer, so you don't want your tree to cook. But since it's heading in an intersecting direction, I'm going to do a heading cut and leave it on a bud for that bud to grow in the direction that I can afford to fill the space. So there, left it on a bud, pointing this way. So now it's like a little tiny 1.5 or 2 inch branch. Okay, I feel good. I feel good about the emerald drop. Next is Flavor Delight APRIUM. So disinfect. disinfect between trees. And I've been studying this one a little bit more. Again, cleaning up the alley. Oh, cleaning up the alley right here. Again, first off with the ones that are doing something wrong and intersecting towards a neighboring branch. Again, this one inward and upright. We don't want our growth to go vertical. So yeah, the ones that are aggressively thick and aggressively growing into an intersecting branch, favor the thicker one. Favor the thicker one, allow the thicker one to fill in the space. But yeah, and then after that, the second thickest, it's gonna run into that limb. You have to thin it, you have to clear it. So check out this one. Okay, I'm going outward swooping. I know it's a lot, but again, I don't want too many forks. Again, leaving these little wimpy ones because it's still summer. I want to use these little leaves as sunblock. Alright, I don't want my limbs to burn. But on a late summer pruning, revised pruning, I'll clear those. I'll clear that, and again, because these were heading cuts, it's going to result in more suckering. But again, that's what I want. I want protection. All right, this one outward facing. I see these twin buds right here. Sorry, these twin buds. Again, it might be a little too much, but I'll go with one of the two. And that one, same place. Inward growth over here. All right, we'll get to that later. Just wanted to see it. And one right here. I always kind of want to, I like to leave it on the newest growth possible, but I come down as far back. But yeah, just because if I feel like if I do leave it on the newer growth, I feel like I'm tricking the tree into thinking it's older. But again, I'll do like 2 cuts per year. 2 summer size control. So it's early summer size control and then late summer revised pruning. But yeah, right here it'll still reshoot any heading cut. Any heading cut will result in suckering out, and then I'll clean up. I'll further clean up. Yeah, see, I don't even want 2 up here. There's 1 and 2. The stronger one is heading in the wrong direction. So we'll go here. And then we'll go here with this one. This one I'm coming up, I'm looking for outward facing buds, and then the leaf will tell you. The leaf will tell you, so let it rest and come far back down as much as possible. Look at your last year's cut or your last cut, and then look, I'm coming as far back down. Okay, since in general I'm still not even 50% down this whole limb. So if you want to go safe, you could maybe do a half of that shoot of that year's growth. But again, now coming back pretty significantly to size control and keep my harvest within reach. All right. this inward growth. So even went lower than last year's cut. And then I'm coming to the last limb. These are strong limbs. So this upward vertical, I'm looking for a bud. There. All right, that was a long one. That was a long one, but I'm happy with it. Peace.